Welcome to regular Nogales Housing Authority's Board of Commissioners meeting, 5:30 p.m., Wednesday, August the 7th. Would you call this meeting to order, and would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Do us the honors.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have anybody for call to the public? None? Okay. Before anything, welcome you, Commissioner and Representative. Marita, Director's Report and Financial Report.
Good afternoon. Thank you. We'll go ahead and begin with our public housing. Existing leases have gone up to 222. We have 3 ready to lease, 1 in turnaround status, and 0 offline. So all our remodifications have been taken care of for a total of 226. Move-ins, we had 2 this past month, for July. And we interviewed 4 out of 6 letters that went out inviting them for an interview. So our HUD target goal is 98%, and we're at 98.23. Thank you. And I look forward to the move-ins on those 3 that are ready to lease. That should be taken care of within this month. Waiting list. 94 1-bedroom, 67 2-bedroom, 22 for a 3-bedroom, 2 on the waiting list for a 4-bedroom, and 1 on the waiting list for a 5-bedroom. Maintenance for the month of July, we completed 136 orders out of 149. We completed the 1 unit that was in turnaround status, 3 that were actually made ready and are ready to go, and we had 11 callbacks. Housing Choice Voucher Program, 157 leases under voucher, 1 voucher on the street, and 19 available. Move-ins, we didn't have any move-ins. We had 1 move-out, and we actually interviewed 14 out of 18. Before, we had issues with people coming in, so they're coming in now, and out of those 14 as of yesterday, 7 are almost all cleared to obtain a voucher. Poured out, we have 1, and on the waiting list, we have 40. Project-based vouchers, we have the 20. 19 are actually executed, and 1 we still have it showing on the street, but because we had a rent increase with our project-based vouchers, we waited until August 1st to move in that person, so that person has moved in. It's just hard to actually cut off a date, so I go by the end of the month, but they're actually moved in. And we have 14 on that waiting list. Stability vouchers, we have the 5 vouchers that we received. 14 are actually executed, and 1 is poured out. Therefore, we do not have any available, no chance for move-ins, and we didn't have any move-outs. Emergency Housing Choice Vouchers, still working on the 15, 11 that have been executed, 0 on the street, 0 move-outs, 0 available, and 1 poured out. Any questions on occupancy?
Anybody have questions? No? Go ahead, continue, Marita.
On the back, as I had promised, I will start giving you a brief report on allocations and expenditures on a monthly basis. So the end of July, we had actually expended $78,513 under administrative expenses. We didn't expend anything for tenant services. Utility expenses was a total of $67,642.95. Ordinary maintenance and operations, $139,230.27. We have not paid out any of our insurance yet, and we actually have to date has spent $285,386.23. If you look down on our balances, we still have $1,370,283.77. Any questions on our actual revenues and expenditures up to July?
You go on the balance here, right?
I'm sorry?
You go through the year.
Yes, yes. So
You're not
this,
the city July.
this is up until July from
China.
the beginning of April. Because our fiscal year is different. So it's April through March.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
I also showed Mr. Galias during the last meeting. He had questions in reference to our coolers and what we were installing, and I didn't have the information at the time. However, I went back and I brought the information he was asking about. So we were replacing our swamp coolers with a master cooler system. And the difference between the two is that the master cooler has a different design. So you don't have the 4 pads, you have one thick pad. So it improves with the moisture problems that we have and we have had. And the cooling is a lot better than your regular swamp coolers that we had before. I also went ahead and did a quick inventory of the ones that have been installed so far. And we have Olive Kitchen, ANSA, all of Western Place done so far. So our projects are by areas, but those are the areas that have been switched out to the master cool evaporative coolers. Any questions on that?
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Just out of curiosity, who made the suggestion to change from one pad to another?
Our maintenance supervisor, based on so we do 2 different kinds of projects. One we do in-house, and then we have the big project that we do with HVAC contractors, and they're the ones that recommended it, knowing that we can't really go to AC units, unfortunately, but those were a lot more beneficial and efficient.
Well, I'm glad they took the initiative and thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bojorquez.
Marisa, on those new, the maintenance, the same as the ones that we had before?
Yes, we will be maintaining those. We don't need the contractor. They installed them, but we can maintain them ourselves with that one pad instead of the 4.
Okay, so instead of, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Is that more cost effective or the same?
It's about the same.
What?
And Mr. Gradias asked the same question. So I don't have the actual difference in how much we paid per unit opposed to a regular swamp cooler, or how much that one pad costs opposed to the other ones. But in looking at it and reviewing it and taking that initiative and wanting to go in that direction, it was because it was more efficient. But I could get you exact numbers if you'd like to see them.
Are they being installed in-house or did you contract somebody to install them?
No, they were installed by a contractor. The actual initial installation was by a contractor.
Okay,
It was part of the project.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody other questions? Commissioner Gradias.
Just a quick follow-up so we can get on the record, and I've already spoke to Ms. Cervantes, reference the audit that you went over with us at our last meeting. There was a issue about inappropriate logging in of a certain amount. Just to clarify, and that there is no money missing, there was just a clerical error, and it was also due to the new software that we changed over to. Is that correct?
There is no money missing, and it wasn't necessarily a clerical error. It was one ledger matching the other ledger, and it was all in reference to a check that was voided. So no, the money was not missing. As a matter of fact, We had excess that amount because the check was voided in one system and yes, not on our ledger.
You're comfortable with the audit the way it came?
Oh, yes,
As
and-
you
and-
explained to us at our last meeting, there are no red flags.
No, and as a matter of fact, we followed up with our actual plan, our correction plan, and it's been closed already.
Great, thank you. And also thank you for following up on the information for the coolers.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Bohorquez.
Yeah, on that audit, is that, have we approved that audit yet, or?
Yes, sir, that's from last year.
Last
So
year?
we're already starting on our current, well, the year before last, because right now we're currently working on last year's audit, which is due this December.
So we approved that audit back in December last year,
Yes, sir.
and how come those questions came up? So,
Because we were part of the city discussion. When the city audit came about, we were part of the discussion and not having our audit in on time. So that just opened doors for questions. But yeah, this has been closed and long gone.
yeah, because I saw the article on the newspaper, and I said, what are you talking about? This was last year.
Yes, exactly. Actually, it's 2 years ago. Because like I said, right now we're working on last year's audit.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Melissa. Is that,
I'm done with my end of it. And then you have 15 minutes.
any future agenda items? Go ahead, Mr. Gradea.
I brought this up to you a while back about doorbells on most of the residential units and if it was part of the emergency plan or not. If you can just follow up on that.
Right now, to be honest with you, our emergency plan is smoke detectors that have the 10-year packed battery inside, the life for 10 years. We have to, we're required to replace all those. And they're not very inexpensive little devices. And there's some units that need several depending on the bedroom size. So that is our priority right now.
Carbon monoxide.
Yeah, so the carbon monoxide project was just finished last year. So that's complete. The carbon monoxide is complete, but we have to start on these new smoke detectors. So that's a priority right now, but I will follow up on the doorbell, sir. Thank you.
Any other future agenda item? Thank you, Melissa. Any other comments? Any comments? Okay, appreciate it. Move to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.